Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Ben the Human Plays Vagrus the Riven Realms. We're here at Hactorest. We need to take a rest quick. We've got 2 movements, so we can actually have our dudes just do work around the encampment. Success. Fantastic news. And then we will head to Cairn Keep, and then we will follow the mountains until we can find the entrance to Celeanos. I'm very excited to finally learn about the new DLC. It's been a long time since it came out. What on earth? Is this... Oh, this is the guy who got stung by a scorpion. Okay. Attempt to neutralize the venom using herbs and balms. Or use an antidote. Let's try to neutralize it. We did it. We might lost movement. We did get it obedience, but we lost vigor. That's fine. we'll figure it out. We don't have any more movement. One more day. I'm like, is it the beehive? Is it the scorpion? There's only so many things that it could be. And we've reached Cairn Keep with plenty of supplies left. In we go. We delivered a slave driver. Let's drop off all the stuff. And now we have, like, a lot of space. And now, what? I don't know if I should take anything if we're going here. Cause what if they need me to do stuff? So why don't we just lighten or like slim down the comitatus here. Get this guy on the horse. Let's get a couple more fighters. Get them on the horses as well. Let's sell 2 of our beasts of burden here. We're down to 1. And honestly, then let's just buy all the supplies they got. They're cheap. We're set for days. I wish I could get 2 more fighters, but that doesn't seem to be the case. And we could honestly even just drop off some of our slaves. Which then we had to dismount 1 horse because apparently they were carrying some stuff for us. Yeah, I think we're ready to go. Goodbye, Cairn Keep. Back we go. Back to normal rations until we can get our vigor back up. And then I guess we just follow the mountains. Are they, do you think they're in the mountains like they're dwarves? That would be interesting. But didn't all the dwarves get melted? I know Garrick's a dwarf. But I was like, I don't think there's any cities left. I don't think we need to follow the mountains directly here. We can kind of skirt across. See if you guys can go find some food, maybe? Did a little. Not a lot. Continue onward. And now we can go back to 50% rations. And these rations will last us forever. Oh, that must be it right there. Where they're like it's a path through the mountains. It literally is a path through the mountains. Maybe that's not it. Hold on. We're very close to it though. Hold on. We gotta camp one more time. Good luck. Didn't work. Alright, let's get here. That's gotta be it, right? It couldn't be anything else. Yeah, we're in the middle of it. It can't be out here. That'd be crazy. All right, let's camp at the entrance to the pass. And then in we go, I guess. Did we find it? Excuse me? Maybe we just keep going. Because it says Valley Entrance, 5 nodes in the area. How annoying would it be if I missed it and I have to go back? All right, camp in the mountains. There is food to be had here, supposedly. Hey, they succeeded. They're better at finding stuff in the mountains than not. Now, do we go straight across, or do we do this weirdo circular route? I don't know why you would. So let's just go straight across. Oh, God. The path rises before you rises rapidly, and the instability of the terrain becomes all the more pronounced. Cluttered debris and scree dot the steep, low slopes that flank you, and the Comitatus crawls uphill toward the only path ahead and through here. As you direct the crew forward, an uneasy silence draws out. The silence is broken by a loud cracking sound, and you see a rock slide approaching with great haste. Jagged-edged boulders hurtle towards the Comitatus in concert, with smaller stones and debris. They probably told me not to go the direct route. I have a vague remembrance of this. It's been a week since I've recorded Vagrus, since I was away, so I don't quite remember what they told me to do. Everyone works together and does their utmost to evade or elude the forthcoming mayhem. Good luck. We failed. We got beaten and bruised. Okay, I thought they were gonna kill everybody. I'm glad that we only got beat up a little bit. A colossal cloud of dust engulfs the valley as rocks, scree, and debris cannon towards the Comitatus, and telltale screams and cries of agony confirm the severity of the impact. It is far too late when the crew realizes that several boulders are on direct collision course with your mounts. Several are crushed and killed in mere moments, and those who were attempting to wrangle them into a safe position are badly injured. When the chaos is finally abated, everyone comes together to survey the destruction wrought. Forlorn faces and despondent remarks characterize the aftermath. Like you, your comates know full well that this does not bode well for your future endeavors. The mounts that now lie dead are integral to a functioning Comitatus. One does not need to be a Vagrus to understand that. Whatever the case may be, you must snap your people out of their shock. And so you do, moving between those who are affected and offering what words of solace you can. When you finally corralled everyone into pushing forward, the silence before is returned. Oh, we only lost 2 mounts. That wasn't that bad. We've had worse. What's up here? Should I go? I kind of want to go up there. Here, let's camp. Let's lick our wounds and try to recover. Holy crap. All right, back to normal rations. Try to recover a little bit of, maybe even full. No, that wouldn't help. How about a little bit of whipping? Smack, didn't work. And then double pay would help a little bit as well. Let's do that. And then now we got to check this guy out. Ooh. The barely visible path at the bottom of the valley comes to an abrupt end. Off to the left, a battered trail forges its way upward, leading to an ominous stone archway built into the sheer rock face. Ravaged by the entrance of time, the edifice appears to be in a state of decay, yet beneath its crumbling frame you see a dark opening. Whistling winds rake at the lofty peaks high above you, and you are struck with a peculiar feeling that you cannot shake. The ancient place seems to call to you, beckoning you to explore its perilous confines. Adjacent to the edifice and between the large rock faces that flank it, there are crude drawings that you recognize as Bandul in origin. Perhaps upon closer inspection, one with knowledge of the Bandul and their symbology could garner something further. We would need Ahari to be at level 3. That's weird. Don't I have pretty good relationships with the Ahari? Or is that... Oh, that's the Hanjari. I've got them backwards. I think the Ahari don't like me. I don't think I should go in there right now. So I'm very curious about it. But we shall see. We need to go find Celeanos, though, especially after getting bodied by the rock slide. Oops, I forgot to not tell my people to go search for food. Or maybe I did want them to search for food. Either way, they lost some vigor or obedience, was it? For the better part of an hour, the Comitatus has been marching along the bottom of a narrow chasm, the walls of which are so steep that they are almost completely vertical. The sense that you are descending deeper and deeper into the bowels of the earth cannot be shaken, and soon you reach parts where the sun's light cannot penetrate the gathering twilight. At one point, the valley is so narrow that you have to progress in single file, and you wonder if the vast cliffs close higher above you? Then you all emerge into a wider section pregnant with an eerie silence. Then everyone stops in their tracks. There's some rustling coming from overhead. You gaze to the cliffs above. Oh no. At first you must squint as the darkened ravine offers little in the way of visibility. Then they come with a blood-chilling shriek like demons of the sky, plummeting towards you and your crew. When they are among you, you get a good look at your foe. They are winged horrors with beady eyes behind horrendous snouts and menacing elongated ears that frame an unkempt mane of fur. Their intent is clear. Kill and capture as many as possible. Doling out his instructions as fast as you can manage, you steel yourself to fend off the flying monstrosities. As the sounds of shrieking fill the air, a battle begins in earnest. There are 18 of them. We have a very high chance of success. We have everybody mounted. I can't action? That's weird. Okay, well, whatever. Why can't I use my actions? I don't know. That's very strange. Fight? That didn't go well. Did we fail? Jeez Louise. We try to flank them, I guess? We critically failed with a 2. Good God. There's not much we could have done about that, and we did kill some of them, and then they stole some people, I assume. They tried to disengage. We got a critical fail and then a critical success. Crazy. Let's give our people time, try to heal up as many of the fighters as we can. Looks like we still lost a guy. 2 fighters. Okay, we lost 2 fighters, but we gained a bunch of supplies. Monstrous screeches and cries of agony herald your victory. The winged horrors abandon all effort to kill or subjugate your crew, returning to the Duskin heights that bore them. Once the crew are attended to and the remaining crew is accounted for, you bring everyone together and give the order to resume your journey. The dark valley ahead beckons the way forward. Whoa, I see it ahead. We're almost there. All right, camp where the goons got us. All right, we need to try and recover some vigor, so let's go unguarded. Elani gained some vitality. And we've made it to Celeanos. No, we have not. Man, this valley sucks. The valley and surrounding mountains dip significantly here, giving way to a labyrinthine maze of jutting rocks, piled scree, and gorges that plummet into the earth below. Allowing your gaze to explore the way before you, you sight no other traversable terrain that is immediately in front of you. Sealing your fate, you must descend into the depths and try to find a way to the other side of the labyrinth. This is not going to go well. We don't have good navigation. That seems really important as a... How on earth? I was gonna say, that seems really important as a Vagrus. Somehow we succeeded. You descend into the maze. It soon becomes apparent that the sheer mass of boulders and rock formations, as well as the height of the cliffs around you, make it impossible to see the end of the labyrinth, forcing speculation as the best way forward. It is with great perseverance and a sense of direction that the Comitatus pursues the end of the maze. Navigational efforts come to full fruition, and the more perceptive among you prove their worth. You soon make it to the other side, where the path rises and your journey must continue. As the maze fades into the distance, you feel the mood in the Comitatus rise and swell. Thank God. Whew. All right, we lost a little bit of movement there, so we'll have to rest again. But let's go back to full guard. Oh my God, you guys. Was that 2 critical fails in a row? Rough. Still, we made it, and we only lost 2 mounts and 2 riders, so, you know, could have been worse. We lost way more when we fought the Jacre that one time. At length, the trail running along the bottom of the meandering, narrow mountain valley comes to an abrupt halt. The only way to progress further west appears to be a cavern that opens in the rising rock wall ahead. All around you, the mountains close in oppressively with no path to climb safely. The entrance is marked by several markings, swirling patterns akin to maelstroms, strange images of fish, and other more arcane symbols. Could this mean that you have reached Celeanos? Oh, I love the music. Consulting your charts, it certainly looks like you have reached the western edge of the continent. Perhaps this underground path is the way into the furtive township? There's only one way to find out. Let us take it into the caves. You soon find out that not only is the cavern entrance large enough for carts, wagons, and beasts of burden to pass through, but also that the natural tunnel beyond was widened by industrious efforts so that the comitatus such as yours can easily move along its dark length. As you and move you do for several hundred paces across chambers and corridors, following the only passage large enough for you all, until you come upon a great cavernous hall lit by bright kelp lamps hanging from the ceiling high above. Just below it is an upper level that seems inaccessible from where you are now, where a circular ledge provides vantage points across the whole chamber. The only other exit is a closed-off passage. A robust barrier cobbled together from hardwood from ships and scrap metal blocks it entirely. As you are just about to take a closer look, armed men and women appear above you, looking down from the ledge. "Hail, wanderers!" one of them yells. The one who addressed you, a burly fellow in a leather jerkin, is singled out as the leader of the group by a bronze quarterstaff with a small decorative anchor attached to its top. "The path ahead is barred," he goes on, his gaze singling you out as the one in charge, "except for those who know what lies beyond." You reply by uttering Celeanos, and then naming the person who shared its location with you. "Then you may be allowed to pass, weary travelers," the man replies after a brief consideration. "That is, if you swear an oath to never give away the secret location of Celeanos to anyone who would harm us, just as you swore to your benefactor." You ask him what difference it would make. "This oath," the man says with a grin, "will be enforced by a geese." Geese? Otherwise, harmless curse that will be your bane should you fail to live up to your word. It can only be taken voluntarily, and it shall prevent anyone from gleaning Celeanos' secret by scrying it, or interrogating you. Should you betray the town, the geese will slowly but surely kill you. The silence settles in the cavernous hall, and after a few tense moments the man adds, "Unfortunately, I cannot allow you to leave without taking the geese either. You've made it too far. You must understand that it is the law here, such as it is." To emphasize the seriousness of his words, several crossbows and javelins are raised by some of his comrades, and arrows are notched by others. Tell them that you refuse? I think we would die, or at least have to fight our way out. Go along with what they want. The man asks you to step forward, and they lower a large basket to haul you up using ropes. Once you are on the ledge with them, you can see that these guardians are stocked with all sorts of projectiles and weapons. A sea mage in azure robes comes forward, the countless seashells hanging from his attire and long braided beard clinking softly as he moves. You are asked to sit down on a flat rock, and once you comply, the spellweaver begins casting the geese upon you. It involves some chanting, exaggerated gesticulation, and pouring seawater on the ground by the mage, while you have to hold on to a seashell engraved with a strange symbol. After about 3 minutes, you are done, and the leader of the Guardian takes your hand. "Welcome to Celeanos," he tells you, smiling. You ask him what happens if someone from your crew divulges the location of the hidden town. "Oh, the geese infects them too, you see," the man says loudly so that your crew can hear it too. You're not certain that he is telling the truth, or indeed that you believe in the geese. You do not feel any different, yet with the whole ordeal behind you, you do not see a reason to be difficult. They lower you back to your crew. Ooh. The barrier rises moments after you rejoin the Comitatus, and you are told to pass through. Once you do, you begin walking along a dark corridor. The leader of the Guardians emerges out a side path ahead of you, holding a lantern, and beckons to you. You join him, and he leads the Comitatus onward. "I don't know what they told you," he begins when you join him at the head of the column, "but Celeanos is a warming place if you adhere to its admittedly clunky laws and willingness to remain relatively unknown to the rest of the realms. People who live here don't want to be disturbed, or are, they might be hiding from something, or are looking for passage to places where they can't be tracked to, you see. We intend it to remain this way, best for everyone. That's why there's all this fuss about a geese and vows of secrecy, even though them Imperials probably already know about the town, or at least know some things about it. Allegedly, Celeanos has some powerful friends who aid us in keeping us undisturbed. But I'm rambling. At any rate, you'll surely enjoy your stay, and the opportunities it provides. You look like the enterprising sort. Presumably that's what brings you here, eh?" You tell him that you've been tracking a strange cult dedicated to a certain dreamwalker to Celeanos, and afterward you might not have learned all of its otherwise you might not have learned of its existence at all. "Tracking them, eh?" he asks, raising an eyebrow. "What, are they up to no good?" You tell him that indeed the sect seems to be bent on sabotaging honest folk, and they are certainly fanatical about their beliefs. Going by what you have overheard, they might have a base of operations right here in Celeanos. Your guide frowns, deep in thought. Now I'm just a sentry, but the cadre of buccaneers who swore to protect this town might want to hear about this. He tells you after a few moments, you should go to Council Hall and ask for an audience. That's where the prominent captains gather to decide stuff and waffle about tavern fights and petty thefts. Mostly. Sometimes they do have to deal with important issues, but don't let their usual dismissive demeanor or their intimidating manners deter you, Wanderer. If you truly believe that something is off with this sect and that they could be hiding here, it is important to tell this to the council. Since you're a Vagrus, they will hear you out, especially if you tell them that Raynor sent you. Raynor? Raindor sent you. He smiles. That's me, he adds. I might just be a sentry, but I'm the most senior one, and they pay me well to be vigilant. You tell Raindor that you shall. Just then you emerge into a cave of immense proportions. Oh, cool! That's a cool picture. Big old ships. They have cannons? I didn't know that. From your vantage point on a ledge, you take in the Cyclopean cavern that the town of Celeanos occupies. An enormous cove takes up most of the cave, its entrance to the sea open to the southwest. All along the rocky incline of its northern shore, a rickety town seemingly built from flotsam has sprung up. In the constant darkness of the underground, it is lit by hundreds of lamps and braziers. As you spy several prominent-looking buildings, some have even been carved into the rock face of the cavern. On the waterfront, a multitude of wooden piers reach into the cove, where now almost a dozen ships are anchored, surrounded by several score fishing boats. 5 ships are larger than the rest, 2 or even 3-masted galleys with all sorts of weaponry on board. Although they seem to be unmanned and flying no colors, with their sails furled, they must be a sight to behold when they set sail across the bay. Following your gaze to the piers, your guide points at the ships. Those are the famous vessels of our esteemed captains who form the council, he tells you. Some of them are more storied than the others, but all of them are renowned across the seas, I'm told. Some even call themselves lords. You ask Raindor what all these prominent pirate captains are doing here now. Oh, well, the sentry mumbles and then chuckles. Better ask them. You're about to seek them out anyways. As for me, it's time to return to my post. The Manzio's in the side cave. Just as you enter, turn right. He bows his head. Again, welcome. I'll leave you be. With that, Raindor turns on his heels and walks back into the entrance passage. You head to the Manzio right away. You head down the path with your comitatus and reach the edge of town. Once you reach the ramshackle houses, you take a right and find a large cavern. There, the comitatus can settle down for your stay under the watchful eye of a small staff of caretakers. No other groups are staying here, and you are told that your kind, or indeed any travelers that arrive across the mountains, are a rarity. Once everything is taken care of, you head out to explore the town. We gained insight. Sick. Let's check out the Manzio. Oh, yes. Let's replace the fighters that we lost. Honestly, let's just hire all of them. Oh, don't do that. Let's sell the bone and the hide here. And then let's replace... Oops. Well, no, that's the number I wanted. I wanted 25 horses and 25 fighters. Now, what is the story here? Oh, there's no factions. Interesting. Well, they have a crap ton of supplies, so that's nice. They want bright kelp. It doesn't really look... And luxury wine and mushroom beer. They have mushrooms. They want oil. It doesn't really look like they have a lot of resources to buy. I guess bone and hide are the most. And then I think they had a lot of mushrooms too, right? Yeah, I pointed that out. Yeah, 85. Is that even a lot? That's 1 stack. All right, that's okay. Interesting. Let's go explore the town. I should read this. What madness compels a community to dwell in a subterranean cove untouched by the light? Perhaps the ancestors of the strange inhabitants of Celeanos were insane, or merely hiding from something. Whatever the case, these days the sheltered settlement enjoys quite the surge of commerce and activity due to the very nature of its locale, something that many buccaneers took a liking to. Only the oldest fishermen families grumble about such progress, their odd eyes following any newcomers to their decrepit shantytown with vigilance. Let's go explore the town. Celeanos might be a small town, but due to the idling pirate crews and the traffic from the sea, those who look can easily run into all manner of encounters. No matter where you turn, the place is much like a labyrinth. Narrow streets and dark alleys snake in every direction beneath the immense cavern roof, while decrepit houses lean on each other and over you on both sides. The sound of laughter and music can often be heard from small taverns, the only warmth in this wet, dark hole in the ground. Let's go for a walk and see what we can find. Your wandering puts you into contact with a small group of travelers who arrived in Celeanos from across the mountains. Their plans involve getting on a ship and heading south, so they are trying to sell some of their belongings they are unable or unwilling to take aboard. Might be a good opportunity. They're selling their horses at half the regular price. Does that mean they're selling them for 2-1? I don't remember what a horse costs. But I'm gonna guess that we could sell them back for a higher price. Let's find out if that was folly. Oh, yes! So we bought each horse for 2-1. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we sold them back for 3-8. It's hilarious that instead of selling them to whoever I'm selling them to, they're like, sure, I'll sell them to this random guy for cheap. All right, so we can go to Upper Town or Portside. The decrepit hovels and houses made of flotsam lean on each other, not unlike the drunken fishermen who frequent Portside's despicable watering holes. Darkness and a briny, fishy smell reign so close to the murky waters of the cove. From windows, alcoves, and alleys, grim faces stare at you, following your every move. Take a walk among the fishermen's huts, observe the ships anchored in the town's harbor, browse the goods, or visit the salty urchin. Let's take a walk among the fishermen's huts. Morose fishermen and mistrustful fishwives eye you suspiciously as you take a stroll among their decrepit huts. Most of them are busy with the hauling and preparation of today's catch. Fish and crabs writhe in the stinking buckets or hang lifeless on racks while the locals cut them up on dirty tables with deadly efficiency. There's some oddity to the features of the fishermen of Celeanos, you find, but you choose not to look too closely. Let's observe the ships. At the port of Celeanos, 4 large ships and a smaller one are anchored next to the longest piers, their sails furled and their crews resting. A few guards are stationed at the ends of each plank, clearly unenthusiastic about their duty, while the rest of the buccaneers can wander around town. Okay. Let's check out this portside market. Most of the stands peddle fish or some other bounty of the sea, but the crabby locals might purchase or offer other wares. Dealing with them is not easy, made even worse by the stench that hangs in the air. What are they looking for? Quality tools, bronze armaments, iron weapons, and they're looking to buy slaves. They would like to buy 5 slaves, we have 18. And I have to have a set amount of obedience and vigor. Huh. That's interesting. What do they got for buying? We got nets, we got slave cages, we have poison extracted, an antidote, ancient tablet. Don't I need ancient tablets? Or is it ancient texts for, what's his name? The mage smith? Icarian? I'm gonna buy these just because I can't remember if he needs tablets or the ancient texts. I think it's ancient texts, but you know, couldn't hurt. Let's get some moon dust for Harvick. Might as well buy some poison. I can use that. Strange gadgets of dwarven origin. They're expensive. What do these lures do? Oh, beast lures. Okay. I could honestly, I could use more beast lures because I ran afoul of many a Jacra. And then lastly, let's visit the salty urchin. Among several portside watering holes, the salty urchin is the largest. One could even call it a tavern. The building it occupies, formerly a warehouse, is right at the cove, with parts of the wooden structure leaning over the dark waters. The interior is crowded, almost suffocating, with smoke from pipes and an old fireplace making the air thick and sticky. Decorations are mostly themed after the sea: fishbone, flotsam from legendary vessels, paintings of ships, and even old fishing nets. Local fishermen and sailors alike frequent the establishment, and you get the feeling that moods can turn from morose to jolly or violent at any moment without warning. Purchase quality booze, the local special brand of spirits for yourself, or fish around for rumors. Should we do this? I don't want to do this just yet. I want to go to the lords of the sea. But let's get a special brand of spirits for myself. Ooh, a courageous spirit, this one. The bartender grins, and having heard your intent, even some fishermen look up from their mugs or hushed conversations. Pirates nudge themselves in the ribs to call attention to an apparent challenger, for it seems the local specialty is a rum that not many can stomach. The bartender quickly explains to you that the sorcerer's curse was created when the previous owners of the establishment awoke the ire of a traveling spellweaver, who in turn placed a malicious enchantment on the drinks on tap. Most simply went sour, but 3 casks of quality rum from the Green Continent became a very strong beverage that supposedly grants strange insight to the imbiber, provided that you survive the ordeal. Even though you can sense that the story is embellished, you would be a fool to disregard the risks. They have a single cask of the sorcerer's curse left at the Urchin, and anyone daring enough to try a thimbleful has to pay in silver. The patrons, all quiet now, look on expectantly. Have a go at it. Oh my god. The thimble is placed in front of you after the elderly bartender returns from the back with it, a wide grin across his wizened features. You look at the liquid but see nothing extraordinary. It just looks like the rum, perhaps a tad lighter than you would have expected. Glancing up with the thimble now in your hand, you can see all eyes are upon you, and the common room has fallen silent as the grave. You breathe in, raise the thimble to your lips, and then toss the rum down the hatch. For a handful of precious seconds, you do not feel anything out of the ordinary. We're not very tough or strong-minded. We succeeded. The burning in your throat is so intense that you begin reeling, and your mind is quickly overwhelmed by a maelstrom of pain and confusion. Then, as if having been transported across the cove, you find yourself submerged in dark waters. The icy cold extinguishes the flaming sensation in the blink of an eye, and your senses return. To your detriment, you soon find out. Looking down, you see movement beneath the crushing dark waves. At first, you do not realize what it is, but then after taking in the scale, you understand that it is not one, but thousands upon thousands of things. Terrible, pale, unnameable things writhe in the dark bottoms of the sea. Tentacles and odd appendages squirm with sickly motions while repulsive, soft bodies press against each other. They propagate and devour each other with reckless abandon. Their motions a nauseating dance from the abyss. Multitudes of horrible eyes gaze at you from that unfathomable depth, and you can feel these creatures' simple, crude desire to consume your flesh and soul. By now you realize you are drowning. As your chest heaves uncontrollably, your arms and legs shake while your mind starts to slip away. However, it is not the end, as you suddenly find yourself at the Salty Urchin again. It takes a few moments to orient yourself, but then you come to, and you're clinging to the bar. As you straighten up, you cast your gaze upon the astonished faces all around you. There's a moment of dumbstruck silence, but then the bartender yells out in appreciation of your sturdiness, and the room explodes in a cacophony of shouting and relieved laughter. The pirates, clearly impressed, begin singing a bawdy song to your honor. They would also buy you complimentary drinks, but citing the predicament you just survived, you politely decline. Word of this will certainly reach the crews currently in Celeanos. As for the haunting vision, you promise yourself that you will try to forget all about it. We gained 1 insight. Wow, what a wild way to reach Celeanos. Okay, let's leave the Salty Urchin. Let's visit Upper Town next time. So if you guys enjoyed the episode, click the like button, helps me out a lot. If you want to see more of Vagrus the Riven Realms or the other videos I have going on the channel, subscribe to the channel. That also helps me out a lot. But until next time, everybody, I hope you have a good one, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye, everybody!